Chuck. Next, it's Jake DeBrusk. Maybe not, so let's dive straight into it here. Rick Dollywall tweeted this out earlier in the afternoon. He's been told that Teddy Bluger and didn't trade him because they wanted to keep him and now he's been for free. Yeah, there can be some panic lights flashing about because of the Teddy Bluger news. But I will say this. The more I think about it and the more I analyze just what happened in 2025, 2020, he was injured for half the year, and the fact that he was just barely coming off of an injury heading into trade deadline period, that's when I think a lot of folks started to say, maybe Teddy Bluger isn't really the most necessary add for our hockey team in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yes, it's true. Bluger was a pretty good player holistically when you look at the body of work he had accomplished while he was in the lineup. But the fact that he missed so much time and the fact that Vancouver was so bad, I do see why Teddy Bluger wasn't really as valued as a trade chip on the market. Derek Forward, on the other hand, yeah, there was no way the Vancouver Canucks could have traded this dude. Given that a lot of people would be a little ticked off of what happened over here, what happened? Switch for 4 pounds and rise to a full release of recovery. Quality proteins have been in muscle. Champion over recovery. 4 pounds. The official protein shakes of Eagle World Cup. Fine.
Remember when you went to Jeff Howard? That's it.
But you gotta also remember, the management core that kept Teddy Bluger and decided not to trade him back in March, that didn't take a criteria. After the league's gone, Rutherford's now a senior advisor. It's Henrik, Daniel, and Ryan Johnson all in the driver's seat now. Maybe they just didn't really see the same value in Teddy Bluger that those other guys did. Oh, we could keep it. So we're not going to trade him. We're going to hold on to this guy and then we're going to bring him back because he's a leadership player down the middle. But then it's like, we've got Pedersen, we've got Rossi, we've got Rossi, but then we've got like Brady Teresa or else. You even have Wilson with it. You never know. With that said, let's shift gears over on to some other Vancouver Canucks guys that actually have contracts beyond this season. Dive into what David McGill said on some Harrison Price. First, see how Canucks make some of these big shout out to Canucks make some of these always good enough to see. We love the work we can do. First, and Noah speaks out on Ron Besser. He says the teams are open around, and he is one of the players that is being talked about. The USA market is thin, and teams are realizing they need to trade for top 6 upgrades. The Boston Bruins have circled back on Besser to extend. His name has started to get out there in the last week, and the Canucks are listening to him. Trade talks around Vancouver Canucks, and you listen to the general has recently been around Besser, DeBrusk, and Elias Pettersson. You'll be surprised if all 3 of them are traded this offseason, though. We also have Drew O'Connor's name that fluctuates on the market in terms of availability. Teams have poked around on him. I do find it interesting that I'm noticing, yeah, I would be surprised if all 3 of DeBrusk and professional hockey comes back to they want at least have strong players over the age of 25, some veteran names to really help the younger players come into their own. There then is a conversation on Jake DeBrusk. I notice as this, the Canucks are trying to find a destination for him. The Saints, the Blue Jackets, the Canadiens, the Flyers, and the Kraken have all been linked to Jake DeBrusk. There is a strong level of interest. Okay, the Montreal Canadiens getting DeBrusk. That'd be pretty cool. Now, I don't think he would be a huge criticism. Because scoring to a that I actually got the back of our heads to the line. And he wonders if the break jump trade has a domino effect on the trade market. And the Vancouver Canucks are a popular team to negotiate what becomes the asset sale in this event. DeBrusk's age, the goal scoring habit, and time are all very appealing. he's only making $5.5 billion a year to the end of 2032. And for a guy that could potentially get 120 plus goals a year, it's not that bad. And the other says, set, the Bucks has an equivalent value of a first round pick and a prospect, perhaps three additional assets. And the next investor's value is even more than Jake DeBrusk. Holy my goodness, man. You're saying that Jake DeBrusk can go for a first plus and then Brock Besser for that? Oh, baby. Just take it all in for a moment. When you talk about these teams, okay, Boston is apparently interested in Brock Besser. 27 they're going to have 23 and 24. Let's get the one twins, baby. Jake DeBrusk over to Montreal, 28. Package 28 plus 36 for another top 15 pick. Each 23 and 24 from the Rock Twins to take it. Somebody third overall. Somebody else. That's how it's good. No, I'm going David Yoda. I absolutely love the way he's going out there, helping up these Vancouver Canucks trade targets. Jake DeBrusk, a first round pick and a prospect.
I wonder how your favorite way in the situation be all playing from.
Get in the trade. Oh, Boston. Let's trade for this guy. It don't make sense. Boston versus Brock Besser. That's a beautiful relation. The 3 to the power of 4 over there, baby. I love the sentiment. Jake DeBrusk got some good feeling on it. I mean, think about it here. The other Senators are not allowed to trade this pick. It's been documented in the 32nd overall. He's staying in Ottawa. But they do have the 25th overall pick that was acquired via the Tampa Bay Lightning. So they also have themselves the overall pick because they get for both of these picks, by the way. A part of the discussion is just this 25th overall pick happens to be 10 plus. Could we get something like that? It's almost out of their terms of $50. I think it's a pretty good feeling. Especially when you have Derek Portsmouth going out there and saying that the love is changing 14th overall. It seems like a lot of these out-of-market reporters have a lot more about what actually Jake DeBrusk is a trade asset than a lot of folks do on the Vancouver side of things. That's just what I'm observing. And if Brock Besser goes right in the corner, then I'd be very happy with that. Maybe the Canucks are just keeping the Pedersen, trade Besser, trade DeBrusk, and give those winners spots so they care about being another else. And then finally, at the bottom of this slide here, the center trade market, there are several things out there, Zaga and Barzal, where it's teams that think players. Players do not want to trade Barzal unless it's for an offer they can't refuse, and the same goes for Pavel Zaga. You might be also have a team of refuse, okay, I can't do Marlon Brando, sorry. I can sort of do the Jordan Belfort, Leo DiCaprio, but nah, Brando's out of my range. And then at the bottom, teams are poking around on Ryan and McLeod. Now, McLeod was really good at Buffalo. We'll see what happens with him.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take shape. Just plan, customize, expand.
So, over the past few days, we have made a number of videos about Chase Reed. Former Sioux Greyhounds deal as high as number 2 have persisted because of a team that's drafting number 2. The Sabres and Sharks have a need for defense. However, you could say that the acquisition of Michael Kessler earlier this week changed that. I don't know. We may agree about that too, by the way. Kessler over to San Jose. But Chase Reed has been a primary target for the San Jose Sharks. Whether or not they go that direction, or they have taken the guy that's actually projected to go at number 2, or Stenberg, or things, and say just a few things there, folks, in order for us to get those answers. But in this video, what I wanted to do is talk about Chase Reed one more time, and focus on a different element of this. conversation. In fact, if you go to our channel, search up case, not case, just case. And just take a look at some of these ideas. We spoke about the defensive concerns of the history, whether or not this guy has some of that heavy guard syndrome going on. Case Street's commentary on being potentially a shark or not. We talked about the Canucks being interested in this guy, or he thought that Bradley Green #1, and then there was the idea of Canucks fans being scared of Case Street. Mostly because, I don't know if you all noticed this, but it is completely. But the full uses of the Brady Kachucks and the Matthew Kachucks and the Jonathan Rose and now the Hellbox and the Austin Matthews all rebranded to lead and history to get it right. So, you know, I didn't think it was a super necessary thing to talk about a month ago when we made this video, but it was not. Well, we can understand why Canucks fans would feel a little bit scared on Chase Reed, right? They just thought those moves, their other top defensemen demanded out, and so did the US, but they didn't want to be Vancouver anymore. Is that a red flag? I thought it was already said and done last month, but no, the Brady Tkachuk trade reopened those wounds once more. So in this video, let's talk about the quote antidote to this sort of thinking, whether or not actually it's worthwhile for Canucks fans to not want Reed because he's an American dude. Also, if the Canada goes on, and instead of those two, if the Canucks still Reed, I personally would be happy with that. I think he's a fine pick up another Reed if those two guys go 1-2. But let's head over to a thread made by Sapster on Twitter that dives into the theory as to whether or not this actually does make sense. Because from a human perspective, I can see why Canucks fans might instinctually go, I want to get Chase Reed. He's an American. He just saw him in this league. He's not ready to cut left. You're all sticking out because we have no Connor Hellebuck like you. He's an American. He's the one we hear about. He's another run. This is what Sapster said. Okay. So, Canucks fans don't want sleeves, and now they don't want Americans. There are only so many elite hockey nations to grab talent from guys. The real issue is the fact that every Canadian team besides Montreal has been poorly ran for the last couple of seasons. Some organizations, the Vancouver Freezing Canucks,
Yeah, I'll take that.
it's been a decade of incompetence. If you don't your stars, be a good organization, and build good teams. It's that simple. And that is a pattern that I think you could say has presented itself over the past 24 hours to maybe the past few years. Jay Andre asked Chris Johnston on TSN yesterday if the Chuck Clark and Hellebuck situations can be traced back to the U.S. defensive experience. Chris Johnston said on air, I think you can't trace it back to there. There's definitely something to it. None of these guys, and Chuck Clark and Hellebuck, have done anything outside of that gold medal at the Olympics, at least as pro hockey players. They haven't been on teams that have been routinely knocking down the door with a chance to really stand up. Now I can imagine a little bit of big patience comes in. And when you get to taste those big games, as the USA did at the Olympics. Now, Sapster then expands more on this idea. By the way, Canucks fans not wanting Mark Stenberg because, oh, this is soft Swedish guy. Like, that was a conversation earlier this year as well, and I don't think it was really coming from an honest place. It was all just stereotypes and people projecting their own ideas of what players generally want onto these players. Like, if you're comparing Stenberg and McKenna's all good old Canadian kids like he knocked out that guy outside the bar. He's a rough and tough kid. Yeah, maybe that did happen, but the thing is, I'd say Stenberg plays a much more physically mature and hard-to-play style of game. McKenna is a lot more of that Mattia Kucherov kind of thing. So he's not really going to go up there and rough things up. And when you give him the puck, that's what he does, and he's things of it. He'll blow your socks off and he'll do some really fancy work. But Mark Stenberg is just a better overall hockey player, I would say. And they project in those similar ways as well. So anybody saying, oh, I don't want to get Stenberg, look at what Pettersson does nowadays, these soft Swedes, like, no, that's completely misguided in my opinion. Now it's Americans. One of these replies says Mexico have left a good Flames team. These Americans want to play America. It's that simple. No problem drafting Swedes, Finns, and Russians, whatever. But I think Canadian teams are best to avoid the Americans at the moment. At least until public education improves in the USA. Sapster then replies, Kachuk left what Gaudreau did. Gaudreau was the primary offensive play driver on that team, and it was the combination of Gaudreau and Kachuk that allowed Lindholm to have a 40-goal, 82-point season. Had Kachuk stayed in Calgary, Lindholm would have regressed, and they would have no Gaudreau, and as a result, the Flames would have fallen down in the standings. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with that.
Let's see that again. He opens the Gemini app. Lost the help hanging pictures. Reminder up against it here. Oh, Gemini. A true love of not ever I've seen it.
I understand the uncertainty there. I don't even think the organization should even take something like this into consideration. There are always going to be risks with building a good team, but those risks are always there regarding the player's on-ice potential. Also, a big thing that people are missing, the current exodus of Americans going back to the States comes from the Olympic team and the NTDP. Chase Reed not only left the USHL to go to the OHL, but USA Hockey clearly held that against him, leaving him off of their World Junior roster. He's been treated like crap by USA Hockey over the last year. It's not the same situation at all. And this is a really interesting element to it as well. When you think about it, everybody knows that Quinn Hughes and the Kachucks, they're good friends. You know, everybody talks about how Brady and Quinn were working together and get games, and how when they were in college, they stayed back in touch, and this big group of guys, you know, got Trevor Zegers in there, Luke Caulfield, John Hughes, and then you think about the older generations, not think of Jeff Austin Matthews, Johnny Gaudreau with them. When Johnny Gaudreau went to the team, I'm not so sure about that. That's the view. But regardless, a lot of these guys were in the same sort of group. I know, Gaudreau was not into it. Never mind. He was part of the World Junior team, Evan, so I shouldn't say that. But when you think about all of these guys asking out here, sort of coming from the same cloth, that doesn't mean that Chase Reed is guaranteed to be a part of that same mindset. Oh, he's in Vancouver for a while, they played till he's 25, and then he'll ask out because the Canucks haven't done enough yet. Is that guaranteed? I'm not sure. I think it serves as a bigger yellow flag that essentially forces Canadian teams to look at their situations as objectively as possible and try to build their teams the best they can. Some of these Canadian teams have been run really, really poorly. And as a result, you've got impatience amongst these American dudes. In Montreal, it doesn't seem like Wayne Hudson and Bill Caulfield want to leave. Why not? Because that team is branded well, and you could actually see a good future with that. If Chase Reed or any other American dude comes to Vancouver, you just gotta hope that they see the vision too. I guess one of these is, I mean, it seemed like he didn't. Matthew Kachuk and Brady Kachuk, doesn't seem like they did either. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Canucks fans have the right to be scared of Chase Reed now because of this Brady Kachuk trade? And do you think there is a limit? Those in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this Rick Ashles, and Today's strategy is after MasterCard. Earns you more points to each spend amount.
I understand. I heard that by L'Oreal with vitamin C and protein. For 24 hours, anti-fatigue, hydration. Now I'm kidding. Now I'm hungry. I heard that by L'Oreal.
With a decade and a half, Skyrim was released. I played a lot of Liverpool games. Many of them excellent, like Kingdom Come Deliverance, Red Dead Redemption 2, Elden Ring, and The Witcher 3 to name a few. No matter how much I've enjoyed these games, I've never been able to recapture that sense of immersion that Skyrim gave me the first time I played it. The feeling when the outside world ceased to exist as I explored on my own westward, or climbed to the north of the world and saw the mountainous terrain extending in every direction, or discovered a quest told entirely from the environment, or fought a dragon for the first time, or got paralyzed by a Dropper shaft. Oh my word, I miss entering a dungeon and emerging an hour later, loaded up with gold, weapons to sell, and ingredients I'm probably never going to use. I long for those times where I open up the time itself. I can't remember the last time. Sure, I enjoy video games, but I've never been so engrossed that I truly lost track of something. And yet, Skyrim, even though I know that it's specifics of adventure, still does this thing. An hour will fly by because on the way to get that from my quest, I don't remember the more embarrassing before. That or I just realize how much it is to me. I'll linger for that listening to the other so much songs, walking the slowly. Not quite nothing. My goal of this video is to understand why Skyrim feels so different from other games, why it sometimes stops doing the game at all, and why it draws us in to Skyrim even after all these years. The immersion of Skyrim cultivation of the building playing the parts of it is transformed. There are elements of Skyrim that take place for years other things that are missing. The things that I actually expect for games correct. At least think that I cycle the difference in videos to the every character. Looking at the difference to hit is done. Now, I'm not making the argument that Skyrim is better than every game and everything. I'm not even making the argument that Skyrim is the greatest game of all time. That's relatively subjective and depends on your taste. This video is strictly about Skyrim's immersion and how it begins to replicate. To me, and knowing to others, that makes Skyrim infinitely replayable and so far irreplaceable. So what makes this game so personal? What qualities are responsible for submerging us? Well, like I said, it's not just one thing. But the familiar fantasy atmosphere that Skyrim cultivates so perfectly is what establishes the baseline for the game's immersion. So let's start there. Skyrim is the kind of game that, to me, felt nostalgic even the first time I played it. Sure, it's become even more so in the years since. The specific elements of the game, like the car ride into Helgen, arriving in Harvard, finding the steps to High Rockbar, elicit emotions tied to those Skyrim-specific experiences. But the world itself felt familiar the instant I was eyes the moment I began to explore and feel the West. Skyrim is distinct, yet surprisingly familiar, feeling simultaneously iconic in its own right, and yet as if it could fit seamlessly into a number of fantasy worlds it has. Whether it's the way Whiterun resembles Eris of Middle-earth, how the word-based shouts are similar to the magic of Algacia, or how many of the game's mechanics can trace their roots to these ties and similarities exist, not because Skyrim copies these elements or somehow plagiarizes them. All of these fantasy worlds speak a common language. Whether you think Tolkien created this language or it existed long before Middle-earth, it's clear that Skyrim speaks it fluently. Yet Skyrim is not content to merely copying it like anybody. So the Fifth Elder Scrolls explores this common fantasy language and adds to it with its own flair, projecting its iconic figure here and crafting it and its history around the world. Features like the Mall, at first glance, seem similar to all of their gifts going on.
affinity for the underground. Other teams can imagine you may not know the first one they have line or holes to go on cellular cell size. It's the clusters, no. A worm within the roots eventually grows in the ground and generates a conversation under the ground, slowly growing to the interesting understanding. We capture glimpses of this group with the stem, falling, stem, and follow up stems. Track your investment portfolio with exactly 100 monthly worth with all the simple, transparent insights. Outside! No, how did that look on top? Yeah, no, he was totally illegal attacking for a player to get under. The glass city of Portugal and its biblical inhabitants is another example. It's great. It's because of the status where the place feels pleased. Yeah. The first time you visit the room, why not understand how to see the struggle? As you cross into the neighbor's building, various groups, you get your first glimpse of the disasters of the child of the experiment. The politics of the disaster, discovery, history, not made it not the not made love that I said. This step is what makes out of the most based it is an established field of structure that advances to be understood, but also through innovation. We're able to immerse ourselves immediately because we understand almost at sometimes at this point the kind of place this is. In the vein of being familiar yet to prosperity, this common trust there. At this point, General Snowflake has reached legendary status. The music of an IP in the world is very and so Scarab's music immerses we are able to transport us immediately to one and the song and songs that dragons take us to the heart of the Scarab. And that's what we're talking about. We are to possess this reality, elements that are beyond it. I can only really say enough about Scarab's music. I suspect it wouldn't be as successful as it is today without this dragon layer and so on. His music shapes our experience all this back from our guests and we're and it makes the vivid sense of us feel absolutely legendary. Going off this open past experiments very good piece of solution. Feels like it makes the better places with its the instant details, birds, butterflies, and ants, and rabbits, and deer, mountain flowers, and hideous birds, unpredictable, both forgotten paths and ancient poetry, great bears, and political fans. Scarab's nature has a fantastic magic. But for ancient living stormers, inspiring more pleasant and more immersive than the other peaks and mountains. Forests filled with immense pine trees and wooded grove, other books are good for sure. What makes my heart beat is sign of this drought of rapidly rising up trees. Even without the scared the best way to do it. But there are very few mountains and scared. Mountains that have such a massive yet I would think there where a simple hugging cave because of that. Life is slow and boring. Just remember to keep it. I'll try to life is again. Mountains have out. Nature is paramount. Mountains in every planet. We look into the ranks coming together with these fails that nature has met. But honestly, that lack of mountains is significant. It changes the dynamic sense. So this is pretty. Maybe I will catch up to them. So we stop for the business of the mountain. That's important. And it's not just the mountains. Mountains naturally enclose the kingdom. They affect the ground and sky, forming the middle versus 160 3 axis floor. But that's not strong because there is a game like this accident doesn't strong. Says that mountains and assassins are just assassin. That's just an industrial experiment. Sometimes we've had ability like better practice. So there's the better spot for the past. As that wildlife sometimes gathered, you'll have that. But it's still missing two things that I think most games with large ones also missing. The first is that you never know where they go to military battle from. Nothing in hotel or years which region break that has an additional laws for something proceeded. Area non-fits, and so on an airplane. You look at a giant mouse with shapes that power and ask yourself, is that actually part of this game or not just the backdrop? The scare of this isn't the distance. You can only recall one of the two places that you start that where you actually get stopped by something that isn't practiced. They're scared. Yeah, it's not because it's so close to it. It's a direction there. Second thing would be just something experience.
Get help where you can get help. Microsoft Business Copilot, your AI assistant at work, is now 60% off for eligible.
Before we get to the second half of the video, I just wanted to thank you for watching. If you're enjoying it so far, I'd appreciate it if you left a like. If you want to see more video essays like this one, please feel free to subscribe. Alright, let's get back to the video. Sure, nature is pretty, but I want to discover too. I want to uncover some new, forgotten history, something great and personal. Sure, Valhalla does have points of interest, but they develop here. It's great as a tiny little story. Those stories rarely amount to more than miscellaneous hats in the sky. You're not likely to uncover some secret side quest story. It's often repetitive, and while that can be fun, it's just not the same thing that you discover. But other games have this. Think about the Witcher 3. It has a massive world, but despite the size, the points of interest throughout the world are sometimes lackluster. For example, this build that after killing a few bugs, searched the whole place. The only thing I found is still within the walls. Everything else was static, nothing to track. No story to uncover, journals, links, quite literally nothing at all. I explored the whole of Baby Village, but at the end of my time with the picture shortness. What was my character name? Nothing. What an interest did I see? Nothing. It's this group of buildings in here. And it has almost nothing aside from the facade that covers the sky. Skyrim is the key of exploration and discovery. Even at a tiny little camp, like how to live at a regular level. Even the smallest fact will at least have a test. The most mundane farm still has tools and wood stock and a crops market. There are always little items scattered here and there in the story. And those are the smallest of them. This game rewards the sequels. Those who follow every path to check whether they have property or to bond up with every car. You can get there. It's worth seeing that the devs have left many tasty versions to discover. But it's not just the smaller scale. The frequency of the locations themselves and the level of interest they contain. Skyrim's outdoor environments are full of game and unmade applications from activities that have touchstones in the thousand wilderness, tiny stories of themselves, and explain that. This is part of what was missing from the Starfield. Sure, there were vast landscapes on the undoubtedly beautiful, often full of favorite creatures, but we're actually full of emergency. Walk for hours, it's definitely worth it. It's just possibly more realistic, but we feel fantasy and something. Instead of enhances reality, it's an amplified with a bit century of discovery. And Skyrim, unlike Starfield, there's one stuff. Maybe it's a close fact. Maybe you see some more inside of it. At other times, a roadhouse could be one of the most involved in the game. It could be a note left behind with a collection of items that tell the story of the six departments. What is talking about this space. I love stumbling upon the camps when the fires died down. Look for this and we get the sense that some of this not less, how we catch us food. It's this combination of picturesque and hidden discoveries, house and wildlife, view of the sky, building the hidden historical skylines, accessibility, and near constant presence of the mountains, certain people, nowhere has all this. It's either beautiful or boring, or breathtaking but accessible. But if it does do all these things, it's never as dense and divided as art, making further objects from the screen. This is what makes Red Dead Redemption less of an immersive experience for the person. I know that it takes something from what stands on this stuff, but the map is so big that it's often hard to find things. Again, the game may be more realistic in this way, making the world better reflect actual reality, because the Wild West is tried to capture the realism and version of separate parts. While Red Dead still has the Westwood simulation as far as realism, it's not set, gravitates toward the world that's characterized. Or at least in my opinion. Yes, the story is tight, but the world does get completely quality version. I understand that this is probably the most subjective part of the environment. Maybe Red Dead's environment does run realistic strategies. It doesn't fully end at the same way. The honestly think it's mostly just limited in how super out the world is. Skyrim is so condensed that it feels like a new area. He thinks it's discovered. And that would keep thinking of this. This brings me to Skyrim's commitment to bring quality to quantity, despite claims that the game has put in talent. Why it is closer to the most of the city goes. Yet Skyrim takes the literal and popular approach. It's never more obvious than cities. And yes, I said cities. When the game tries to be massive and capture huge cities, building tries to be big, it often comes with an expense of depth and personality. This is where games like Assassin's Creed and Crimson Dawn and Creed, ironically enough, know that cities miss the mark. Though they may appear larger, more popular on the surface, the second you talk to them, you see to walk from the building every seconds, or even just look at the outfits of the building. The very thin layer is current, so they're always thinking they're devised, copying and pasting moving. The dialogue is more in most cases, no dialogue at all. If you walk into the city, people immediately seek out about the business, living their lives. But they're not really fulfilling, they're not really filling out their lives. They are completely fulfilled. See how long it takes to go out and find and seek out a conversation. Oh, but they're able to stop and talk. They give you absolutely nothing. They go into houses, private houses, private viewers, and what's all like. Ones that aren't locked out of nothing to really hit them. If you have someone, have nothing to say. I wander around for a while. If it isn't, I go back to strangers for the bargain ones that I can find the ones who are actually stuff and talk to them. There is a total lack of personality for some identity to this visual feeling of the world passes Now, Luca 3 compensates for this on having really. In fact, those NPCs go way deeper than Skyrim. But remember, we're talking about immersion here. Having an idea of influence, or have to do with components, means that 98% of the time, the people you encounter feel empty and therefore unimmersive. What's funny is that I was particularly impressed with these characters. They have the barely simplest company. There is a chair of the like guards, and not all you can NPCs, particularly violent. On top of all that, there are only like 5 voice actors for all the characters. I used to fly, I want to be relevant. You're looking to set off the ball. It's like, oh, this is hard to do. Because Skyrim is committed. Simply in Skyrim aren't big. There are hundreds of NPCs on the street. So we go to the bar for this. We're throwing further. Having to navigate this time. With characters will see browsing the stars with this few celebrates. They're all characters with names, characters with backstories, daily schedules, that's not just something generic for the copy and paste them. That's true. The elements of fun.
So they're worried about that's a reason.
All the crime and corruption victim is really getting the other to hear rumors about the dragons.
Oh, and there's Titus Hewlett.
He works in the fishery and is having a bit of a rough time at Skyrim being bored. But I think it's the best Skyrim has to offer. I may as well turn back the right now and just head for home. And when you visit the inn, there aren't a dozen soldiers and commoners carousing around the bar. You might see 4 or 5 named characters kicking back after a day of hard work, whether that be at the animal or behind the counter at a local store. In that corner over there is both the Fisher Guide, who donates a lot to charity and had me help him with his trade meeting. And there's Mule Linus, Brenton's protector. I spent 45 minutes redoing the river dive to get the stories inside. Failed to notice it the first time. There are rows and rows of buildings with countless alleyways between them, but the 2 dozen structures that compose the spring cities all have doors with locks. They're all filled with people actually going about the day, bedding down like the night. It's not just some facade. That's balance. They took it that work.
Determined to become a master of action in teams on his quest to gain skill and knowledge. Pokemon along the west. He's facing the combat with cheerleader Ron and Donovan Ash on Golden Bad. Open to a Pokemon leader decided to join action on their journey. Gary was scared, without a reason, but with his rival Gary way ahead of him. Ash technically still playing catch-up with him and only wonder what adventures lie ahead. The water flow is absolutely insane. And while you're enjoying the sunshine, Gary's catching more Pokemon. I guess a Pokemon trainer can catch a Pokemon and enjoy the sun. Well, it's none of your business, but I'm going for more benefits. Why not? Because they're on. Oh, what? You should not put mine that look like this. Nice face, Misty. Come on, Dave. Make something to do. Hey, what about the nuggets? It's right on the line here at lunch and you Pokemon, and you can watch all the giant cats pouring into the harbor. And there's a little pet way up on the hill where you can sit and watch the sunset. That's so amazing. It's nicer than the pictures on the street. Oh, okay, let's go. To Smoke City. I'm not even much sure about the dog because he says it's in the Smoke City.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Well, it's like the fountain. Yes, what he eats is that's what he swallows. So, this is Smoke City, ain't it?
Pretty nice place, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty cool. Hey, look, that's weird. At least he's not following us anymore.
She really didn't want to come to this little big city, did she?
I wonder why she hates this place so much. We'll never figure out that. Excuse me, do you know what happened here?
There's some burglars broke into that store last night.
Burglars, huh? What do you know about burglars, huh? You two are very suspicious to me. You're that motorcycle officer from Meridian, huh? Ah, you must have met my sister-in-law. If you know my sister-in-law, then you probably have the feeling of belief in Meridian. Cool, probably. Yeah, maybe you can stop going to the boogeyman. Or maybe you found a Robin on the street and turned it into I've never been to jail. That's what they all say.
Just got into town and saw the crowd, so we came over to see what was going on.
So I'll be declared to the scene of the crime.
We're not.
I'm Dexter, a Pokédex program line professional for Pokemon trainer and editor.
Yeah, and I was the leader of the Peter City Camp.
Well, that's evidence enough for me. I'm sorry I was suspicious. Wow, you should be my sister-in-law. You should have a irritation friend.
Miss, I was one of them since I lived in town. We just get together tonight. You show me around.
Well, I'm not out doing so watch you that time. And I didn't have to work very hard to catch these burglars. Well, what exactly is this deal? That's the strange thing about it. They didn't take any money, just a massive vacuum and a giant load. What is that stuff for? I'm sure I don't know young man, but I do know I don't have time to play fancy games with you, because I've got a job to do, and it's time for you two to move along. Come on, let's go. All right, everybody, the show's over. You know, like Dexter, you had your back.
Yeah, she went for some weeks in camp.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, you got any insight into what a tree train is? I just want to find out as much as I can about it before we have our match. Know yourself, know your adversary, and you will achieve the victory.
You sure knows some pretty deep stuff.
I heard that was from Dexter.
Well, I never usually met this man, but I know his Pokemon special move.
Yeah, what is it?
I'm sorry, Ash, but I can't give you that information.
Why not?
I'm a gym leader too, after all. I can't tell you out of respect. You understand?
That's cool.
Well, I have some stuff I need to check out.
What stuff?
Just stuff. See you later.
Bye. Well, let's get going, Pikachu. Should be right around for some folks.
Understand it. It's like hard. So ready to stay the instant done with fever. I just know that you know excuse my son. If you want to interview, you have to like call our manager. It's not that. You don't do. I don't know what. I really just wanted to know if this is a Pokemon gym. It sure is. Well, I'm looking for the gym trainer. To the campus. I forget the trainers there. Hey, but she's chasing up this thing. We're well there. Oh, what's with all that swearing? Honey, that's the one that's the bar. We grew on town. She made it explain. I'm sorry, I want to go deeper. You don't feel much like that anymore. What do you mean? We just got beaten 3 times in a row by kids in this nearby place called Palatown. It was just one thing after another. My eyes were straight all along it, especially like practically watch all of the movements of the biblical center. It's the only one left. I told you God was sleeping. You could get it. But all it is now is heart attack. Like you're still playing violin? Yeah, you should have had a magic. You have to make yourself look as not beautiful as ever. I know what you want. I have a payback. This is what you want, right? You can have it. Yes. I know. I'm my gadgets. A girl with a big mouth who said to me to come back to see if the great Pokemon trainer could be at you. I guess I'm thinking something like that when I want. So that's why Misty was so dead set against me. You see, you went here pretending you wanted to become a Pokemon trainer because you couldn't compare with us. Because we're obviously much more talented and beautiful than you are. That wasn't a reason. It's going to take others. Hey, here's a Pokemon trainer. And that's another idea to come back here. The only reason I'm here is because he wanted to come. And it's totally not someone I choose to support. You'll have to go to the side to the south. So honestly, I was one of those people that actually got it. Are you thinking about it'll be my pleasure. This one's going to be a decent game. So, how many Pokemon? For me, you got it. Or then we can choose how to you. Look at you, what are you doing? You saying you don't want to battle with Misty? Well, I guess it's okay to go to the battle with friends. We got to. You're a big one. Got to. Thanks a lot. You too.
Sorry, the car on this water bottle last night, and a regular bus and a ton. A car that is very smart, well, and a tight bug.
Wow. You're ready to show off the jewelry. Let's go. This could be for a win. Like they have dreams and reaches. So you want to dirty. You can blow that thing away with one She knows everything. Sleep, brother. You're supposed to be on my side.
This is very awesome. Well, we three got the good looks in the family, so I guess she had to get some talent.
Butterfree, return! Video, I choose you! Oh yeah! Vegeta, whirlwind it away! Straight back with wing attack! Give it a cut to blow it away! Starting! Oh no! Starting's energy is just about to run out! Alright, Vegeta, let's get that trainer badge!
Check out the hair. Doing good out of the party capper.
Sorry to break in on you, ladies.
Allow us to release ourselves,
To protect the world from devastation.
to unite all peoples within our nation,
To denounce the evils that spread the blood.
to extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse,
Today,
Jesus Christ, lost on at the speed of light.
surrender now or prepare to fight.
Maniacs get right.
The water Pokemon have the advantage.
But if we steal that water away,
The Pokemon are ours for the taking.
So just to endure. What are they trying to prove? That's exactly what I'm sorry for. So you don't get to the solution of your stop again. I should have known it was them. I'm sorry for. It's something that I wanted. That's great.
But it's times like these that make me want to go straight. It's to be all in Washington.
And I was just about to win it too. You said that it's like, you two, three, you feeling off. I wanted to win. Guess I'm not gonna get that tested badge. Wrong. We're gonna just have to get this one. It's the best. You can share with the women. We're going to take us home. I'm thinking, start, and I'm going to go far. Oh, yeah. Take the bad one. She thanks. Oh, take it.
And so Ash earns his second Pokemon Trainer badge.
You just put right on track here. Pokemon trainer. He might as well get it something, because he'll never be stars like that. Yes, he does. You're going to be big stars. Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Go. How you go? See for yourself.
Oh, let's go.
But, you forgot me. So you're not going to get sore booze, are you? I think you're the thing. I'm going back to that.
So better try to make me out.
Check out your street shoppers at Walmart. Shop everyday low prices in store and on the Walmart app today.
Yeah, there we go. We take our first win of the season. Celebration scores himself a hat trick.
Whatever it takes, 10 minutes to cook. Down to the burger pasta. When it's cooked, you send it. Okay. Come on, class. Hold it there. Anywhere. No way. I'll get anywhere to finish by. Come on, Dad. One fish chip special and 3 shepherd pie special. Yes, Larry, dirty boss is listening to me. Everybody got me, right? Hello, young man. Gather, fire the sausage and chips. Get ready, finish. Listen up. We need a fish and chips, a shepherd's pie, and a sliced steak.
It appears though the expectations are now on the second stage, and the cooks are beginning to fill the orders.
Hey, 2 tables, Mr. Big 40. I'm going to come back.
The chef actually notices another potential communication problem.
Where do you have to come here to tickets? No, I don't have it. I think that I need to control the tickets. Wow, it's having to go. This is. And there's my order. I need that now. Yeah.
It's all the time. That's all the time. But it's so unfitted. It's ridiculous.
Come on, guys, fix it on that. Well, let's go. I need that.
I did, it's fine.
I don't think no chance left of this for that. It's fine. That was the part time we showed you. With no intention. It's a quality control. Just stop for 2 seconds, though. We cannot stop that. We cannot go to this extent and try to start building a reputation and serving that. When you're the expediter, you're not fully control, I'm afraid. So your standards are there. Their standards are there. Start when you hit some structure. Come on, please, already. Just 43. And a slow start.
Next check.
Food is now making its way up to the diamond.
Everything's good?
And all of these factors are making good effect. The regular menu. Yes, this is a present editor. Oh, hi guys, I'm in the front of the hamburger. Yes. Yes. Okay. This must be roll. 15 seconds. Oh. Okay. Oh, fucking burger. Oh, fucking wrong. Well, but I have it also fair. Better help me out.
You could do 5 pound mine, it's very nice. It's one of my favorite.
Let's go for the 5 pound and then I'm sticking up at the bar.
The bomb burger?
The bar, right? Is it like that? That's your one. I'm going to go back and change it.
There you go. You got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Order. Order the order I'm going to choose. 150. Order this.
That's mine.
Okay.
That's great. Hope it's big, right? Definitely take that into account.
And we don't,
That'd be good.
it's issue there.
Yeah, and that whole bit. My memory was pressing around. It was explained back in 2 months.
Yeah.
Like this.
Right. It's hard to make it. I don't really know what to say because I'm not one making it, but I'm just sharing it. Instead of it for. Sophie doesn't want to the back. That's crazy. Stop it. Oh, I went soft and about to shoot. Yeah, so you some food.
Yeah, no, what one?
Yeah, it's done.
Is it actually frozen? Is it like frozen?
Yeah, it's
Frozen.
Anyway, that's enough of me. I've been exactly that.
I said I remember this is a story. It's not their day.
Oh, it's a great deal. It's not the good and all. People are doing things and doing things now. Once the mountain. Everyone wants strong. That's part of the house, but it's something that's going on. Not big.
Well, that's just good. That's good. There's good. The power of everything. Fast.
We don't have
Next, it's how we up to the sheriff and takes that. Down.
instead of burgers for chili because
This is good. So I think this burger, it's a good burger, but it's a high burger, and it's not going to be $10. So let's start getting this ready. And then we're going to do it? Yeah. With the wages. A lot. With the wages. So let's do this to the difference. These aren't so nice, tasty burgers. These last something that's flavor strong. Those are good.
Okay, it's all correct. Hey, why don't you have that now? There we go. Nice. I just made it. My ingredients. Your ingredients? Yes. One. So it's not on the big. Now, you want to try it? Some people want to call me a soft through on me. A lot of different celebrities for the movie I do, but they do the fantastic. Yes. What's it done? You don't say? Yeah, let's see, look, it's the label. What I've done is I've had certain spices. I made a cheeseburger. I didn't have time. How do you know that? Don't know what to feel about it. The only thing you can to me is sit on it and let it finish. That's what we do. And you make this? Yeah. Over there. It's I live to see this. This is burger. You don't think. It's safety. It's safe. Just like this, just small beer, a real snack, for the market, they don't really have to double the other way. What I don't know, it looks like that. It's okay. Look at that. And that's why I feel the and it says, yeah, everything's perfect. It's a roll. Yes, sir. It's like a bit of a I like that. What is that? You get I love it.
But that goes I take something stronger in there, like a marinated or something deep. But I do like when they have a
If that's not the way, it's just the money is given. I'll tell you what, you can put it in 6 months. It's really but now I think that's not that time level, I think that's not. I deserve to do that. So that's all this burger here.
And you too, Alan.